Hello everyone, welcome to another league, this time not a Wi-Fi one, but a radical red one. That's right, we're diverging into the other metas format on this channel. This is my personal favorite format, I really like it. So this will be fun. This is not upload required, but I figured it could be fun to showcase my favorite format, and I really like the team that I got, so I figured what a perfect opportunity to put it in here. Don't worry, pack is still going on. I'll still upload that. I'm 2 weeks behind. I'm supposed to have played both week 6 and week 5 by now, both of which I haven't played, but that's for another video. So yeah, this is Kingdom of Gumidra Season 4 Dreepy Division. We've got, I think, 110 points, 115, something like that. I don't remember. For 10 to 11 Pokemon, and here's what we drafted. So our round 1 ended up being Milotic Sevi. So this Pokemon is a ground fairy type with the abilities Serene Grace, Marvel Scale, and Competitive. Competitive is kind of good, like all 3 abilities are viable. Competitive is good because if you run into like a very good Sticky Webs game, you can run Competitive and you get a +2 boost every time you come in. So it's a little niche, but you know, it has its uses. Marvel Scale is really good because it allows Milotic to be a defensive wall and with a great amazing typing that is Ground Fairy. You know, it allows you to run more bulkier sets. It gets Shore Up so you can heal, and Sand Teams you heal 75% of your health back, which is crazy. Yeah. Then Serene Grace is kind of crazy because this thing gets Scorching Sand, so it's a Stab Scald that is a ground type move. It gets Scald, so it gets Serene Grace Scald and Scorching Sands, and also Moonblast, so it like drops your special attack more. Gets Earth Power, so again drops your Sped F more. Like, Serene Grace is probably, I don't know if it's better than Marvel Scale, but it's also like a really good ability on it. So that's pretty crazy. Really excited to use this Pokemon. I haven't used it before, but I've seen it do insane things before, and yeah, just looking forward to using it. It goes 16 points, so I figured it was a good time to try it, and the Pokemon I was looking forward to using went before it got to me, so I was like, you know what, I'll give this one a shot. And it kind of started a theme you'll see as we go along. Our second pick was Mega Lapras. Yeah, I know, right? Crazy. Pokemon that didn't have a Mega now has a Mega. This Pokemon is insane. It is my personal favorite draft Pokemon ever. It gets Liquid Voice Boom Burst, which is insane. It has 135 special attack, I believe. No, I think that's probably wrong. It's like 115, something like that. I think it's like a little higher than its physical attack, because its physical attack is like 105, which is usable. But yeah, it gets Liquid Voice, Boom Burst, it gets Dragon Dance, Dragon Hammer. It's a Water Dragon type now, by the way, it's not Water Ice. So it gets Dragon Hammer, it gets Dragon Dance, it gets Ice Shard, it gets Freeze Dry, it gets Wish and Protect, which is insane for it. It's insanely bulky, really good defensive typing, really good offensively. It can do anything, Mon. You want a physical sweeper, you got it. You want a Wish Passer, you got it. You want a defensive wall with nukes like Liquid Voice Boom Burst, you got it. It doesn't get Calm Mind, I don't think, which is, you know, its biggest deficit. If it did, it'd be like 18 points or something. Like, it'd be so good. Like, a lot better than it already is, but it's still insanely good. It's super reliable Pokemon. Like, you can bring it to any matchup you want, basically, and it will do something. You just have to give it a set that, like, is designated for that match, and it'll work. It's super good. Really like this Pokemon. So yeah, happy to have gotten it for 13 points. What? These people are underpricing Pokemon. 13 points for Mega Lapras, ladies and gentlemen. That is a mega steal. This Pokemon should be 16 points. 15 points, maybe, if you want to go a little lower. But this Pokemon is not 13 points. No. And I will make sure to demonstrate that, okay? I will show you guys why this Pokemon is not 13 points. But anyway, let's move on. Our third pick ended up being Carnivine Sevi, another Sevian Pokemon. You can start to see the theme now. 13 points, also insane. I feel like this Pokemon is like, it's not amazing, but I feel like 14 points maybe. I don't know, maybe 13 is fair. But this Pokemon is like one of the best defensive Pokemon in the format. Poison Steel type with Levitate, meaning your only weakness is fire. It's not a quad weakness either, like with Steel Bug. It's literally just a regular weakness. It's just crazy. It gets Snap Trap, which is a 100 base power steel move with Magma Storm abilities or like capabilities, so it like traps your opponent and does chip over time. It can miss like 5% of the time, but we don't talk about that because we never miss. What else? This Pokemon gets Bar Barrage, so you know it does more damage over time. It gets Leech Seed, it gets Synthesis. Yeah, it's insane. It's insanely like defensively. Like I don't even have the words for it apparently. Yeah, very good Pokemon. Just in summary, really good defensive check for like half the Pokemon in the game. It can stall really well because it gets Leech Seed, it gets Toxic. I already gave you the list of the moves, basically. But yeah, really good Pokemon for the value that is 13 points. Super difficult to prep for. Like, opponents will struggle to prep for, and it will be so useful for prepping for other threats because it can wall, like, half the Pokemon in the game. So yeah, I'm super excited to use this guy. Never used it before. So yeah, we'll see how he does. Next up is another personal favorite of mine. That is Sibscrub Sevi, yet another Sevian Pokemon. So, Sibscrub Sevi is really broken typing with Electric and Ice. You know, not the best defensively. You're weak to so many things, and you have like 3 resistances, I think. But offensively, this Pokemon is unstoppable. Like it gets Illuminate, which in this game gives you a 1.2, I think, accuracy boost. So you can more reliably run Thunder and Blizzard, which is insane. So you can have Thunder Blizzard spammer. And with that stab combination, literally no Pokemon in the game can switch into you. It's insane. It gets Freeze Dry too, so like if you're a cheeky ground water type and you're like, I can tank these blizzards and these kids nowadays. Nope, dead. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Really good offensively. It gets Volt Absorb as well if you need that. It gets one more ability, I think, but I don't think that one's used as much. But yeah, those 2 abilities are really good. Yeah, overall, just insane defensive or offensive powerhouse. Really happy to get this again. I've used this Pokemon before. It's always done well. Like, it's such a good offensive piece that like you just fit it on the team and it will do progress because there's not a single Pokemon in the game, I'm pretty sure, that can like reliably check this Pokemon. It's super good. Yeah, anyway, on to the next Pokemon, yet another Sevian form, Ursaring Sevi. Freddy Fazbear, as I like to call him. Ghost fighting type, as you know, this type is really good. Marshadow and Annihilate are known to abuse this stat combination. It basically has also just no Pokemon that can reliably switch into it unless your name is Zoroark, but we don't talk about that. Yeah, it gets Poltergeist, it gets Shadow Sneak, it gets Drain Punch, Close Combat, like anything you could want out of those stat types. It gets really good coverage. I'm pretty sure it gets Thunder Punch, it gets Earthquake, it gets Poison Jab, it gets, I think, Iron Head, I think Thunder Punch, I don't remember. It gets the Elemental Punches, I'm pretty sure. It gets Earthquake, like I already said. Knockoff, I don't know, you'd run Knockoff with Poltergeist, but I think that's Darkest Lariat too. It gets really good coverage. It gets insane abilities in Guts, so if you want to blow your opponent up, you can, and Guts Shadow Sneak is insane. If you want to do a little cheekiness, this guy gets a Quick Feet, which in this game doubles your speed, so you can like run Toxic Orb and you can outspeed Dragapult with this Pokemon, which is, I'm pretty sure you can, which is insane. Like that's super crazy. Really strong. Gets Sword Stance, so you can run like Quick Feet Sword Stance. I know you got +2 speed, +2 attack with Poltergeist. With, oh my god, such a good offensive Pokemon. I love this guy. 11 points too, which is super value. Oh yeah, Sibscrub was 12 points. I forgot to mention that, but that's insanely cheap. That Pokemon should be like also 15 points. Regardless, back to Ursaring. Yeah, super value Pokemon. Really happy to get this guy. Like overall, as you can tell, I really like my team. Like all these Pokemon are super good. Really reliable. They will do like things on whatever game you bring them to, and yeah, that's our last Sevian Pokemon though. So that's the theme of the thing, splitting up a little bit. But next pick Meloetta, my favorite Pokemon. It's not crazy. I'm tied with Amora, but you know. Meloetta in this game gets Luster Purge and Mist Ball. Mostly Luster Purge is a crazy move we're looking at here. Yeah, isn't that so crazy? With Serene Grace, it basically lowers your special defense 100% of the time, which means it's a lot harder to switch into. Granted, you can't Terrestrialize, but normal Psychic is already a pretty good typing. Not the best, you know, but pretty good. I learned that Pursuit is allowed, which is a big pain for this Pokemon, but regardless, super good Pokemon. I feel it's my favorite, one of my favorites of all time. So of course I had to draft it for the squad, the team mascot. We had to have the team mascot. So yeah, 10 points, not bad. Will come in handy as a Spedith wall. I don't think it's as crazy broken as a Sevian Pokemon, but I do think it's pretty good. So we'll see how that goes. Next Pokemon, we've got Rillaboom. So Rillaboom is here because Grassy Surge is really good for my bulky team with Ursaring and Carnivine. Oh, actually Carnivine Heavy's Levitate, so shut up. Lapras Mega gets healing, Milotic Heavy gets healing. Really good priority. So big thing about this format is priority is really important. You need to have good priority. If you don't have good priority, you will lose a lot of games, in the sense that yeah, if let's say you have Mega Aerodactyl, right? +2 speed, +2 attack, wahaha, I'm gonna win, and then you realize half the Pokemon in the game get Aqua Jet, Jet Punch, and most of them get Technician now for some stupid reason. Accelerock, Ice Shard, so much priority, and so many Pokemon get it now that it's having good priority is a really prioritizing part of the draft. You really want to get your good priority, and this guy's good because, again, as you probably know, Grassy Surge, Grassy Glide goes pretty crazy. He hits really hard with 125 attack. Gets U-turn, gets superpower, gets high horsepower, knockoff, super good. Really nice support with a grassy terrain for everyone else. Yeah, Rillaboom is just a nice kind of glue piece to help the team defensively, and happy to have gotten him. 13 points, I think that's pretty fair. Next guy, Zoroark. So regular Zoroark, you might be thinking, wow, this guy is really bad. Zoroark is really not a good Pokemon. In here, in Radical Red, this guy gets a Life Orb boost to every single one of his moves without the recoil whenever Illusion is active, which is pretty crazy, because that means when you equip a Choice Specs, for example, Dark Pulse is going to be doing 1.5 times for stab and 1.8 times factoring in Illusion and Choice Specs, which is crazy. That's a lot of damage. So yeah, super good Pokemon. I won't say it's the best Pokemon, but really good Pokemon. It can catch opponents off guard. As you know, Illusion is a really good ability because it can trick your opponents. It can help you put on tricky situations where it's well, if they're Ursaring, they could kill me with Poltergeist, but if they're Zoroark, can kill them, so they Drain Punch and you are actually Ursaring, and then they die. But then they're no, wait, I'm gonna Shadow Sneak because it's Ursaring, and then they Shadow Sneak, and it does nothing. And then Zoroark comes in and it's oh ha ha ha, and Dark Pulse. Anyway, yeah, Zoroark, very good Pokemon. Kind of fits the speed tier I needed, and gives us a Dark type, which, as you know, is kind of required for draft. Yeah. Anyway, next Pokemon was Emolga. Yeah, this little guy, 2 points, nothing crazy. I was do I get this or Chatot? Because Chatot gets Punk Rock Boom Burst, but I was let's actually, no, I think that might have been in another league. Anyway, I think if Chatot was 2 points, that was my other option, but I felt Emolga just kind of fits better because it gives me a speed tier I need as well. It helps my type chart a little bit better. So overall, yeah, I felt I already had a special attacking normal type in Meloetta, and although I already have Sibscrub, this Pokemon is kind of more defensive, if that makes sense. It gets hard, whatever the Volt Absorb boosts speed is. It's something engine, I think. gets that, which is pretty good. Electric Flying is just a good typing. It gets U-Turn. I don't know if it got any buffs. I don't think it did, but yeah, it just figured I would fit it. It's 2 points, might as well. Because with all the budgeting we've been doing, we can afford a big guy for a last Pokemon, and that last Pokemon is none other than Cinderace. Now, Cinderace is 19 points, which to some of you it might be like, well, that's not worth it. In Gen 9, Protean doesn't work like it used to. Well, in Radical Red, it does. Yeah, Protean and Libero both do the things they used to do, which is it changes your type for every move you use. It's not once per time you're in, it literally does it every time. So if I click Sucker Punch and it fails and I turn into a dark type, next turn I could click Pyro Ball again and turn into a fire type. Like, it's pretty crazy. Like, old Protean was really broken and they fixed it for a reason. Now it's back to the old one, so like Meowscarada, Greninja, and Cinderace are really broken. But Cinderace and Greninja are like not good. I feel like Meowscarada should be banned. That Pokemon with Protean is really broken and should not be allowed. But regardless, that's a discussion for another day. Cinderace is just really good, you know, like my fastest Pokemon, I believe, which is not like great. 119 being your fastest speed tier is not ideal, but with all the bulk, like with Milotic, Rillaboom, Carnivine, Lapras, like we don't have to worry about speed that much. Cinderace is nice because it gets Sucker Punch, it gets Pyro Ball, Gunk Shot, it gives us another hazard approach with Court Change. Yeah, overall, just good Pokemon. Happy to have gotten this guy. Yeah, that's it, I guess. Yeah, that's all the team. I don't know. I just kind of sat down and decided to rant about how much I liked this team. I don't know if rant is the right word there, but anyway, I wanted to talk about this team because I thought it was really cool, and I will be uploading matches. I already played week 1, so I will just commentate over replays, but I will, if I can, record myself mid-matches. Or probably not. I think I'm just gonna take advantage of the fact that there's replays and just do post-commentary for all of them and make it like a quick little thing. But anyway, yeah, they won't be as edited, but I hope you enjoy it regardless. Pack should be out at some point. I play week 5 today, as of recording this, and I play week 6 tomorrow, I believe, and I haven't even built for that game because I don't like my matchup, but that's besides the point. Yeah, so I'll catch you guys some other time, I suppose. And thanks for watching, and bye!